This is Luis Concepcion from Strategic Profit Line Trading, coming to you with the plan of the week for week number 11. As always, here's our disclosures. This content is for educational purposes only, not providing any investment advice. Past performance does not guarantee future results, and all investment involves risks. Here's our agenda for the week. I'll cover the news, provide a market overview of where the indices at. Earnings season is winding down. We have 300 companies reporting this week. However, they're pretty much more your small cap companies. We're more in dividend paying out season for the month of March, so you may see some things slowing down a little bit here. Here's our results for week 10. Pretty much provided 8 zones and went 2-0, and we got two. Pay attention to Adobe and Dollar General this week. There are in the zones are starting to work out. If you want looking for something to trade in addition to what I give you this week. Here's what the earnings is looking like for this week. Pretty much we're not going to get busy till midweek until Thursday. Thursday is going to be your more common companies that are reporting. So it may be a beginning of a slow week. And then the government was just approved funding through September. So that might have a positive outlook on the market for this week. Went ahead and updated. We had Oracle and Ferg both worked, and that puts us at 20-3 on the year. Moving into the news, as you can see, starting on Monday, we have retail sales report. That's going to be pre-market, so it may cause you some volatility at the open, so be mindful of that. Moving on to Tuesday, there is no news for the US. However, for those of you trading futures and Forex, the Canadian dollar has some reports pre-market, and in the evening, the Japanese yen has some tentative news. So be mindful of that for those of you trading the Japanese yen. Then moving on to Wednesday, we'll get a little bit busy. Midday, you can see we got the FOMC statement and Fed funds rates. So that will affect our interest rates and our bonds. And then in the evening, the New Zealand dollar will be affected as well as the Australian dollar. Moving on to Thursday. And unemployment claims in the morning. Everything else is going to be in the wee hours of the night. So those of you trading currencies, be mindful of those reports. You have the pretty much the British pound being affected the most. Moving on to Friday, nothing for the US markets. However, we have the Canadian dollar. And then we'll go ahead and look at what we have for earnings this week. Moving into the chart, starting with the SPX. As you can see, this was the level we had. We have had a nice 10% drawdown here. Given that the market, given that the government has funded the economy for another 6 months, we'll see if that'll continue this for this week. However, with that being said, the first level I have for you is the same level I provided you last week with the S&P 500 or the SPX. That's going to be 5499.03 to 5400. And we have subsequent levels here. So we're coming into some areas of demand. With that being said, the first supply level I have for you on the SPX is 5992.35 to 6044.16. That's going to do it for the S&P. Moving on to the NASDAQ. As you can see, the NASDAQ did not make it to the same level the S&P did. So that means that the S&P 500 is stronger than tech. Now, if the NASDAQ decides to pull the S&P 500 to get to the same level, the NASDAQ has the opportunity to bring the S&P with it. And that's going to be mainly by our tech stocks and our Mag 7. With that being said, this level is 18,814 to 18,402 on the demand side. On the supply side, we have 21,088 to 21,352. Moving on to the Dow Jones. As you can see, the Dow Jones has also hit this level already, so showing a little bit more weakness than the S&P and the NASDAQ. That level is still the same level that is in progress. That's the 408.47 to 399.80. In the event we lose these levels on the S&P, NASDAQ, and NASDAQ, and the NASDAQ drags us down this week, the next level I have for you in the Dow Jones is 398.53, 395.93 to 392.15. On the supply side is going to be all the way up here at 477.27, 450. However, Have another level for you now at 432.38 to 440.40. Now moving on to the rut. The rut being the weakest, the rut has reached its October lows. First level I have for you is going to be sitting right here in progress, 2018 to 1956. And on the supply side, 2333.73 to 2370. Now, getting into earnings for the week. First company I have for you is QF, ticker symbol QFIN. No supply, just hit all-time highs at 46.25 a couple of months ago. And the first level I have for you is 32.69 to 31.67. In the event of an overshoot, you have the 26.43 to 23.44. Next, we got SIAC. So supply is very far away. On the demand side, we are in the middle. First demand zone I have for you is 62.96 to 45.19. On the supply side, 148.66 to 156.80. Next company I have for you is ticker symbol SIG. On the demand side, we got 45.97 to 34.40. Be mindful, we're testing this level a couple of times already this week and holding it. On the supply side, 105.73 to 111.93. Next company I have for you is Williams-Sonoma. As you can see, hit all-time high earlier in the year. That supply level that I have for you is 208.89 to 220.12. On the demand side, 121.86 to 107.22. Next company I have for you is Ali. For Ali, on the demand side, we have 80.23 to 77.56. And on the supply side, 112.47 to 115.45. You can see it has another level right above it at 117.49 to 119.98. Next company I have for you, ticker symbol GIS, which is General Mills. On the supply side, 74.57 to 77.65 is the level that's been holding it down. On the demand side, just there's two levels in here. However, we're just gonna make it 54.56 to 46.55. If you want a smaller level within this level, you got the 52.89 to 51.48. Just realize this is the entire level, 54.56 to 46.55. Now, next company I have for you is Five Below, ticker symbol FIVE. On the demand side, 71.64 to 47.24. Supply side, 169.89 to 187.29. Next company is ACN. On the demand side, 292.12 to 278.77. On the supply side, 405.90 to 418.52. Next company, FDS, ticker symbol FactSet. On the demand side, 416.48 to 406.60. No supply on this company. Next is going to be Micron, ticker symbol MU. As you can see, Micron has been bouncing between these levels all year. Will they hold again? Wish I knew the answer. However, on the demand side, 86.77 to 79.14. In the event of an overshoot, because this level has worked numerous times, you have a level here starting at 73.17 to 71.64. On the supply side, it's going to be 113.24 to 117.70. Next, you got Nike. Just do it. On the demand side, we are coming back to the 67.86 to 59.19. On the supply side, you can see that this level has already worked on a couple of occasions. This is the level that's currently holding it down. That's 82.47 to 84.79. In the event of an overshoot of this level, you have a level here at 87.87 to 90.63. Next company is FedEx. So for FedEx, on the demand side, 229.25 to 224.42. On the supply side, 274.77 to 281.88. Next company we got is Lennar, ticker symbol LEN. On the demand side, 106.70 to 102.79. On the supply side, 173.28 to 177.44. Next is Scholastic, ticker symbol SCHL. On the demand side, we got 1607 to 1482. Supply 37.17 to 3880. We have another level here on in the event of an overshoot at 11.77 to 9.25. And after reviewing this right now, we have a level right here at 24.65 to 2606. And the last company I have for you this week is going to be Carnival Cruise, ticker symbol CCL. On the demand side, 14.89 to 1367. In the event of an overshoot, you got the 12.99 to 11.99. And on the supply side, 31.82 to 33.71. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us for the charts this week. If you haven't done so already, do me a favor and hit that like button down below. For those of you who are not following on social media, feel free to do so. And if anybody would like to contact me via email for something you might like to see or something you'd like to cover in the future, let me know. And until next time, happy trading.